And we're back. Hey, y'all. Good to see you. We're back. We're back. Let me remove my background and go like this so it won't be jumpy. We have no volume yet. Mac Daddy's in the back. You might hear him. Oh, goodness. I'm going to show you what Mac Daddy does. It's Mac Daddy. Where's he at? You might hear this. He was just over here by the house doing it. Hey, Hedda. Welcome back. Welcome back. Hey, Judy. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Bathtub homicide trial. Smoke some PCP. Remove baby mama's brain. Baby's missing. There he is. Hey, Julie and Heathen. Good to see y'all. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up again on your way in. This attorney right here had to look away when they showed that picture of her with her braid removed. He just kept looking forward. I would love to know, like, when the defense team. Hey, Connie. Hey, Allie. It is a loud rooster. He's like right over here. He's so silly. I think he's looking for the girls. The girls had to be separated. They got something going on, and she got to go to Tractor Supply today to see what she can figure out about the situation. But so he's over here pitching a fit or looking for him or something. You know what? How did you know? I don't have chocolate today. Actually, I got white chocolate. Got the coffee and cigarettes. Although I'm trying to quit. He's so loud. So if y'all are about to fall asleep, I reckon he'll wake you right back up. Yeah, I would love to know when the defense comes, what his psychological evaluation is going to say. When the defense gets to present its witnesses. Yeah, crime scene pictures is what was from this morning. That poor baby's puzzles and bathtub books, regular books covered in blood, her crock, Christine's pajama shirts, his shirt, his shoes, stuff in the car. It's the stream right before this one. I try to label it on the stream morning session and afternoon session. I missed you too. It's been such a long time since I saw you, Southern Cats. I'm so glad you're back with us. Oh, we're waiting on the judge again. Imagine that. That's interesting. This bookshelf over here is built into the wall. Trying to see if you can see my mouse. You can't. Now you can. You see his bookshelf is built into the wall. Interesting. Yep, morning session and then afternoon session. It's the stream right before this one. Oh, really, Hannah? I don't know if I could be in court all day with them boots on that she's got. It'd be hurting my feet. Unless she's sitting down. Lord, now the kids are hollering for the damn rooster to hush. It's 7 there? 7 p.m.? Oh, wow, Hedda. It is 2:05 p.m. here. Oh, all rise. Court is now in session because the judge
Good
has
afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon.
stopped studying.
Yes.
Are we approaching the bench again? Good Lord. We got more discrepancies again. Again. I do need to add these to the Jose Morales playlist. So I'll do that real quick. Do. First, I need to do this. All right. Yep. Sidebar again. Sidebar again. Goodness. Missing Vanessa Morales trial is what it's. Y'all, I do have playlist. I know some people like to like just for whatever crazy reason y'all want to hear me talk at night when y'all go to bed or whatever, fall asleep to it. I've got several playlists if you want to look through them. I did get some jail files back for Steppen Stearns. I made a post about it. They're in my Patreon. I'm going to try to go through them, but I doubt there's really anything new on it. Hey, Phony. I'm glad you are present and accounted for. Oh, prosecution's sitting down. Maybe we got, yep, okay. Can we get to court now? Thank you.
Thank you, counsel.
Thank you.
Are we ready to bring the jury back in?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do we have the witness ready to return to the stand?
Yes.
All right, why don't we actually bring the witness back in, have the witness in the stand when the jury comes in? Thank you.
Excuse me. Ali X. Yeah, they keep defying everything that happens in court.
Welcome back. Come on up. You can go ahead and take a seat. I just want to remind you that you do remain under the obligations of your oath that you took when you first entered the witness box. Okay. Thank you. Have a seat. All right, Madam Clerk, we'll bring in the jury.
Maybe I could read some audio books. All rise for the jury. He's lost a significant amount of weight. I think seeing those pictures of what he did is going to be enough to seal his fate with the jury, personally. I mean.
All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You may be seated. Thank you. Welcome back. Counsel, please stipulate to the return of all of our jurors here today.
Stipulate to the presence of the jury. State will stipulate, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, Attorney Durso, if you'd like to proceed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, I streamed it, but I didn't realize she kept forgetting the jury.
So, Your Honor, the next, I'm going to direct the witness's attention to submission number 20. I did speak with counsel.
Bellis was here earlier.
Exhibits 136, 137, 138.
Your Honor, at the break, I had the chance to look at 136 through 147, and I have no objection to any of them being, I have no objection to all of them being marked as opposed to.
Okay, so Attorney Durso, you only went up to 138.
Yes, sir.
Attorney Gavin went up to 147, I believe.
Correct.
Do you intend to
I don't
introduce them
know.
all?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so then the court will go ahead with no objection and accept into evidence states 136 through 147 as full.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I inquire?
You may. Thank you.
I don't know, Bonnie. It's weird.
Let me show you what the market states.
Thank you, Hannah.
This is a lab sticker on 136, referring to submission number 20.
Yes,
And this is for infant croc, size 2-3.
yes,
Did you perform any examination on this particular piece of evidence?
I did.
Vanessa's
I'll
crop.
show you what the marked states exhibit 137.
Hmm.
Can you tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what I see submission 20-1, 20-2, 20-2, and 20-4. Can you tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what examination was performed in those areas?
Sure. On this particular item, as with the previous items, I examined the item for the potential visual examination to see if there was any stains that could potentially be blood, which I did test. In addition to collecting other samples from other areas of interest, which included what we at the time referred to as touch DNA, as well as wearer DNA. So sample 20-1 was what we refer to as a touch DNA sample, which was collected on all the unstained areas of the exterior of the shoe. 20-2 was a sample collected from the interior of the shoe, avoiding any unstained areas as well, which I did refer to as the wearer type sample. And 20-4 was a stain that had the appearance of blood, which I tested with a presumptive test for blood, which yielded positive results.
And just for clarification on this exhibit, that would be on the top picture of the shoe, on the, what would be the left toe area of the shoe.
Yes,
And with regards to State's Exhibit 138, did you perform an examination on submission 20-3?
yep.
Or 20-3, excuse me.
Yep. 20-3 was a sample of a stain that had blood-like appearance to it that I also tested with the presumptive test for blood, which yielded positive result.
And again, once you perform these examinations, you sent your swabbings off to DNA?
I did. Yes.
I think they've only got Christine's DNA, but
I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 1.
the blood, but I'm not sure. Basil is back and eating
This
paper.
would be submission number 26. Again, barcode associated with the lab.
Yes.
And with regards to this piece of evidence, showing you Exhibit 140, this piece of evidence referred to by the lab.
What was that? Sounded like a mouse sneezing.
Exhibit, this is submission number 26.
It's not red
Tell the
color.
ladies and gentlemen of the jury what examinations, if any, were performed in relation to this exhibit.
So this particular submission contained a pair of shoes or sneakers. I was not the original examiner of this particular item, but after reviewing the case information and the notes that were taken by this examiner and looking through her photographs, I was able to surmise that there was a pair of shoes here in which she did collect some samples from, some of which were tested, some of which included testing of stains that had a blood-like appearance with our presumptive test for blood.
Nessa
No.
said, I speculate he had a drug psychosis and did what he did. The men coming after him was a hallucination, which he may believe due to denial. I think so too. I do. Especially after finishing that arrest warrant. I agree.
I want to direct your attention to (26-1), which refers to tissue-like material.
Yes.
What examination was performed on that tissue-like material?
So that tissue-like material was eventually subitomized as 26-1-1 as it was collected, and it was tested with the presumptive test for blood, which yielded a positive result.
And again, when we're referring to a pair of sneakers here, it's 26-1, 26-2 would be the left sneaker or the right sneaker?
Correct.
And with regards to what looks like the 26 dash 26-1 dash, I think this is just 26-1. Do you know what examination was performed on that particular area of the sneaker?
In that particular area, the presumptive test for blood was conducted and the examiner yielded a positive result.
Brandon Lawson has been found.
There was also 26-1-2. Is that the blood sample taken from the tissue-like material?
The tissue-like material is 26-1-1.
And can you tell us about 26-1-2?
That was collected from the, I believe, the top toe area of the front of the shoe. It might be shown on a different photograph. I'm not sure.
Let me show you states 141.
What is the tissue-like material?
I apologize, 141. Pointing to the okay, 26-2-1. Is that the area we're referring to?
Is not, that's actually from the second sneaker.
Okay.
But on the right sneaker, which is what is displayed here, there was a stain that had a blood-like appearance that the examiner tested with the presumptive test for blood, which yielded a positive result.
So with regards to this particular piece of this evidence, 141, 26-2-1, this is the right sneaker, correct?
That's correct.
And with regards to this particular submission, what examination was performed and what results were yielded, if any?
On 26-2-1,
Yes.
it was positive for the presumptive test for blood.
Oh yeah, she's not a tissue expert. Can't testify on tissue.
Show you what's marked as States Exhibit 142.
I agree, Nessa.
This would be referred to as submission number 35. Did you perform an examination on submission number 35?
I did, yes.
And submission number 35 is what?
It contained a white diaper pail.
And with regards to states 143, is this the white diaper pail that you're referring to?
Yes, that does look like it, but that's not a photograph that I took.
But do you see the lab number affixed to the packaging?
I do, yes.
So in regards to this particular piece of evidence, again, another picture of 146, 144. Can you tell us about this picture, 144? Why was this picture taken?
This picture was taken to show the overall appearance of the item as I received it out of the package.
And states 145. Did you perform any testing for blood-like substance on this submission? I see submission 35-1. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, submission 35, which itself is the diaper pail, did contain or have blood-like staining on it. I did perform the presumptive test for blood on the particular stain that's displayed in the photo, and it was designated later as 35-1, which is the sample that I collected for DNA testing.
Now, were there any other substances taken off of this submission?
There were other samples that were collected, yes.
Do you know whether or not, in addition to your blood testing on this submission, was it tested for any latent prints?
It was.
I'm going to show you with regard to State Exhibit 147. Would this be a picture of the same piece of evidence taken after it was submitted for latent prints?
Yes.
And in relation to submission 35-3,
Oh, wow, Ollie.
can you tell us, did you perform an examination on 35-3 prior to it going to latent prints?
Prior, no. I did an overall examination on the item to determine whether or not potential blood stains could be collected. However, we try to limit how much we collect from an item before it goes through latent prints, just because we don't want to interfere with the exam that they might be conducting on the item.
So in fact, in this particular piece of evidence, you collected some evidentiary items with regards to blood-like substances after the fact?
That's correct.
Okay. And 35-3, did you perform a blood-like substance test on a presumptive test on 35-3?
I did,
And,
yes.
did it yield? What did it yield?
You yielded a positive result for the potential presence of blood. And it was an area, the reason why I honed in on this particular area was because it was an area that was specifically identified by the latent print unit as potentially having some friction ridge detail, which I can't talk in lengths about, but it was an item or an area that they pointed out to me specifically as having significance to them. So I ended up collecting it myself.
Edith, I'm so sorry that you're going for kidney stones. Bad girl has got kidney stones as well. I don't know what's going on with everybody having kidney stones, but I'm so sorry, sweetheart, and I hope that you get better. I'm so sorry. That's awful. I hope you'll be okay.
And I want to direct your attention to State Exhibit 146. Submission 35-4, which is on the top picture. 35-4 on the right side would be the bottom of the diaper pail. And 35-5 would be the overall, I guess, side view of the diaper pail. Can you tell us, did you perform any examinations as it relates to those two areas of that piece of evidence?
Yes, those both 35-4 and 35-5 were areas that I collected that could potentially be used as a touch sample. 35-4 from the bottom and 35-5 from the main body of the item in an attempt to avoid any areas that appeared to be stained.
And when you were done with this particular piece of evidence, what did you do with all of your swabbings and examination items after you were done?
So any of the samples I collected were put into sterile labeled tubes that were then transferred to a secure freezer storage location so that the person who was doing the DNA testing can retrieve it from there. The items themselves were placed back into the original packaging in which they were received. They were securely sealed and they were brought to the laboratory's evidence receiving unit with the intention of those items eventually getting returned to the agency who submitted them.
When the lab receives evidence from an outside agency, the barcode is placed on each package by the lab?
Yes.
And will the lab receive any type of evidence from an outside agency if the evidence is not properly sealed?
Typically not. Typically, our evidence receiving unit will not allow evidence in if there is a question of the integrity of the packaging.
That's all I have. No further questions, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, Attorney Durso, thank you. Attorney Gavin,
Cross.
Attorney Cross.
Thank you, Your Honor. Hi, Ms. Nelson.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm okay, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for being here with us.
Of course.
I'm just going to run through some stuff with you.
Sure.
Okay, we met earlier today.
We did.
Correct? All right, great. So you're a forensic science examiner too, correct?
Yes.
All right, terrific. And I just want to run through the protocol, what happens with the evidence. It comes into the lab from various agencies, correct?
Correct.
And that could be things like local law enforcement, correct?
Correct.
The state police
Correct.
or other agencies. correct?
Absolutely. Yes.
So the first thing I want to establish with you is where the evidence is collected, how it's collected, the manner in which it's collected. That has nothing to do with the Division of Scientific Services. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Right? So stuff comes in for testing purposes, but you're not involved in the integrity of how it was collected.
That's correct.
Terrific. Okay. And then, so evidence is received by one department in the lab. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And for example, if something came in and the seal was broke or the evidence submission envelope was somehow tampered with, that would potentially be rejected by the lab, correct?
It could potentially be, yes.
Yeah, and it would be returned to the agency.
Yes, ideally, yes.
Okay, and then just so I understand, so evidence comes in, from example, this case from the Ansonia Police Department. It was submitted and received, and evidence can go to different departments within the Division of Scientific Services. Is that correct?
Yes,
Right? And your division, your department within the division is the biology department,
that's correct.
right? And you also testified about other departments like the DNA department, correct?
Yes,
And latent fingerprints,
yes,
and there are other departments as well.
there are,
correct?
yes.
Okay, terrific. So the biology department, you conduct, I think you said serological testing, is that correct?
Yes,
Okay, and serological testing is
Right?
a determination of the items that are submitted if they have the potential to contain bodily fluids or other biological material. Is that correct?
we really only test for the presence of body fluids, and we can collect samples which we may assume might have other biological materials such as skin cells, which we can't test for, but we can collect samples from for DNA testing.
Terrific. And all the departments work together, correct? DNA would work with biology, which would work with latent prints, for example.
We're pretty intertwined, yeah.
Right. I know that there's separate departments and separate examinations are done within those departments, but you have no problem contacting a colleague in one of the other departments if you had a question.
Absolutely.
Sure. Okay, terrific. And now let's talk about biology and see if I understand this correctly. When an item is submitted, is there a visual examination that occurs?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just tell us, how do you do a visual examination?
So visual examination will, what we're basically looking for will depend on the circumstances of the case. So because in this particular instance, I knew that there was a person who may have been bleeding at the scene, I'll make sure that upon my visual examination, I'm looking for any stains that might be blood-like, which will then help direct me with the rest of my exam. The nature of that item might also help me determine what I'm going to do with that item. Some of the items you saw, samples were collected from other areas that were not deemed as blood-like, and knowing what the item is and where it may have been collected from and what it may have originated from may help me determine what type of samples to collect as I'm going forward.
And when you do a visual examination, you can do that under ambient light, for example. The normal lighting in the room is one way to go ahead and analyze things,
Yes.
correct?
Yep.
And then do you also use alternative light sources to go ahead and do an analysis?
We can, yes.
Tell us in your own words how that works.
So if there's evidence that we're looking for body fluids such as semen or saliva, which is not always visible with the naked eye, we do have the ability to put those items of evidence under an alternate light source to help visualize what we can't otherwise see without the aid of that light source.
So if you have enhanced lighting, it may assist you in your ability to analyze the submission.
Yes.
Terrific. Now, you told us that you do a variety of tests, including blood tests. Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay. And then do you also test for things like spermatozoa?
we do.
Okay. And saliva
We do.
and seminal fluid,
Yes.
right? And urine.
Not anymore.
Why not?
It was a test that we weren't doing very often. So it was an executive decision in management that we were no longer going to provide those services.
Okay. All right. So the tests that are done, I take it that after the tests that are done, there are results that are generated,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Mhm.
All right. And so the analyst goes ahead, observes, does a examination, and there are different results that can come as a consequence of the examination, correct?
Yes.
Sure. And what's a positive result?
A positive result would be an interpretation that A particular body fluid might be present there. And it usually is the result of a visual observation that I'm making with that test, which most often is like a color change reaction that I can deem something positive with.
Terrific. And what would a negative result be?
We should
Oftentimes
stop
to
saying
go
terrific.
to piggyback what I just said, if it's a color change reaction type of test, if no color change is observed, then I can call it a negative.
And how about an inconclusive result?
Inconclusive is somewhere in between. Oftentimes we will call it inconclusive if we feel like the substrate in which the stain is tested on is interfering with the test and is not allowing us to give a fair and accurate result. We will call it inconclusive so that we're not one way or the other saying whether that particular body fluid was present or not.
And how about a failed test?
A failed test is actually a failure of the test itself. It doesn't really have much to do with the evidence. When we run controls prior to doing our testing, that will usually eliminate the chance that that will happen. It can happen occasionally, but all the tests that we do are quality control tested before we use them to greatly decrease the chances of a failed test happening.
Do you ever have a submission that's not suitable for testing?
It has happened, yes.
And could you give us an example of that?
So for example, if we have a heavily stained item that is heavily stained with what we perceive might be blood, but we want to test it for semen, sometimes because of that heavy staining of that blood there, it might mask any results that we might be trying to get with the semen testing that we're doing. So we might call it unsuitable and then go to a different test that may not have that blood-like staining be an issue for. That makes sense.
After the analyst goes ahead and does their analysis, can reports be generated in regard to their findings?
Yes.
Okay. Now, talk about just this case here, and I know you're very experienced. I understand that you've written a lot of reports. But just in this case, you recall authoring a report on December 5th, 2019.
I think it was the 6th.
Could I have
Could I
your
refer?
report?
Yeah, if you don't mind. Just want to
Yeah,
make sure.
I don't have any objection if you refer to that. Or I can show it to you if you like.
Let's see.
I have my copy
My
here.
goodness, yeah. There's just so much
Let me
paperwork.
give you my copy.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Sorry.
The date is not too important.
Okay, I just want to make sure that I had it straight.
We want to be accurate.
Okay. December 10th is actually the date of the report.
Okay, great. And there were two reports that you issued.
I did, yes.
And I'm going to show you the second report.
Okay. That was January 6th of 2020.
Terrific. Okay, thank you.
Yep.
I want to talk to you a little bit about the blood tests that were done in this case
Mhm.
on the items that were submitted. And we just saw about 100 pictures that we went through, and I'm not going to go through all of those pictures with you. But I thought I heard you testify that the tests that were done on the BLS, blood-like stains,
Mhm.
okay, was a presumptive test.
Yes,
Is that correct?
that's correct.
All right, and that's that Castle-Meyer test, correct?
It is.
Okay, so let's just see if we can go through slowly here. The Castle-Meyer presumptive test has some severe limitations to it too.
It does
not?
have a couple, yes.
Yeah, okay. So the first thing that the Castle-Meyer test does, it can't tell the difference between human blood or animal blood. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Now, and sometimes what happens with the Castle-Meyer test is that there can be false positives from oxidizing agents. Is that correct?
It is correct.
Could you explain that? I can't. Could you explain to the jury what a false positive is?
So basically, it would be that the test would give a positive result for something other than blood. And there are substances, as was mentioned, that can oxidize or cause the same reaction in the test as blood would if it were present.
Okay. So all of the testing that you did in this case, all of those
Hey,
items. that were
only
in-
Onions and Megan. Good to see you. Cracker Jacks. Good to see
You
you.
can't tell us where the origin of any of those items were. Is that correct?
That's correct.
You don't know where any
Red rum, Megan, is murder spelled backwards. CREDRUM, murder spelled MURDER. So when people say red rum, it's just murder spelled backwards. I went to go potty. Yeah, I apologize.
Any of these blood stains came from what person it came from,
Correct.
right? You can't identify on a shoe or a book or a piece of cloth or a piece of clothing whether it came from any unique individual,
I cannot.
right? It's just the presumptive test that the reagent action occurs, and you say there's a presumption, a positive result to that presumptive test.
That's correct.
Okay. One of the submissions were the puzzles and the books, okay? And I can get the photo if you want, but it seemed like they were all packaged together. And what I want to ask you is, when you received the submissions, so would every one of those books that we saw, would they have been packaged individually, or would it have been in a collective evidence submission?
In this particular case, they were all commingling within the package that was received.
Okay, so let's just talk about that for a second.
Oh, okay.
Can there be
Hey, Scratch.
situations where there are cross-contamination and transfer when items are commingled?
Yeah, I mean, contamination is a strong word. However, I can't say anything about contamination as that's more of a DNA, something that they could explain because I can't detect
Bless your heart.
contamination, but there could be cross, I guess, transfer, rubbing off of one item to another with the blood or blood-like substance, yes.
So if the items are bundled together, and I'm going to remove contamination because you don't seem comfortable with that word, but I'm going to use the word transfer. Is that clear?
That's fine, yes.
Okay, so if I have a book over here and a puzzle over here, and the puzzle has blood on it, and we put it together with the book, it can be transferred from the puzzle onto the book, and by the time the analyst gets it, you don't know where it came from,
That's true.
right? So the only thing you could do is observe and analyze what's in front of you, not knowing the source or how it was transferred to the lab for analysis.
That's true, yes.
I really appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
They're going to cross. Again.
Attorney Jerson?
No further questions for the.
Oh, they're going to let her go.
All right, thank you. You may
Thank
step
you.
down. Please watch your step.
Now she's going to take an afternoon break. If she does,
All
I'm a
right,
snack.
so, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we are going to take our
Are you
afternoon
fucking
recess
shit?
now. And
Wow.
So it's about 2:35. So I do anticipate that this break for the jury will be a little bit longer than our usual 15 minutes. The clerk will keep you informed. So I will go ahead and take that recess, and I'd ask counsel to confer with the court after the 15 minutes. Thank you. All
They
right, court stands in recess.
they have literally been in court for 38 minutes. Y'all. 38 minutes, and they're taking another freaking break. Lord have mercy, I cannot. God. Oh my God. This is irritating. All right, what we gonna do? What we gonna do? Let me pull this up on my phone. What we gonna look at? Okay, hold on. Hold on. All right, I got that pulled up on my phone. Let's go over here. Y'all want to see the records? Y'all want to see the Stearns records I just got? Yeah, so she got to take something. Good Lord. I pee like 20 times a night too, but my God, woman, you got a job to do. Goodness. Like, I'm going to need you to be in the damn courtroom, please, for a little while. Just a little while. All right, hold on just a minute. I got to grab the records. I don't know that it'll show anything new, really. They're all the way up to March 15th. March 14th, excuse me. Let me go through and get rid of some of this stuff. It might make My computer ran a little better. All right. So visitation log is real easy to look at. Yeah, Stefan's parents are weird. She should wear a diaper, like, God almighty, woman. It had been 30 freaking minutes. All right, let me write down what we're doing. Oh my, where is my pen? Oh my gosh. Yo, I got too much crap. I'm literally sitting in the bed. Got too much crap. Okay. 40, 53. Okay, so as you can see, Stern's visitation log is only that his dad, Christopher Stearns, visited him on March 5th of 2024. Okay. These are the notes that the correctional officers take on Stearns while he's in jail. Oh, hold on. Hey, Norma. Oh, right here. Thursday, February 13th, inmate rehoused to FB 209 temporarily until toilet is repaired. Inmate was offered water every hour from the time inmate advised the officers his water was not working. Toilet was flushed manually. Goodness gracious, what has he done? All right. Let's go. I think we stopped off in January last time. I think it was like January. We'll go to Christmas. Now there's 17 pages. It goes all the way back to last year. Oh no, that was, okay, wait a minute. Yeah. So it's going to go all the way back. Like if I go down here to the bottom, it's March 1st of this year. These are on my Patreon if you want them, but we reviewed them before on here. So we're going to go back to Christmas. So Wednesday, December 25th at 1:19 p.m. inmate refused shower on Charlie shift. Thursday, December 26th at 11:34 per confinement review meeting, inmate will remain housed alone in PC for safety reasons. Inmate has recreation. Tuesday, December 31st, which is New Year's Eve at 11:11, inmate Stearns refused morning meal and outside recreation. Tuesday, December 31st, per confinement review meeting, inmate will remain housed alone in PC for safety reasons. Inmate has recreation. Tuesday, December 31st at 16:26 per confinement review meeting, he will remain housed alone. Monday, January 6th at 10:02, inmate was offered recreation and refused. Wednesday, January 8th at 11:32 per confinement review meeting, inmate will remain housed alone. Wednesday, January 15th at 12:13, he will remain housed alone. Thursday, January 16th, inmate refused dinner tray but had a cup of juice. Friday, January 17th at 17:38, he refused a shower and he refused recreation. Saturday, the 18th, he was rehoused to medical. CO2 needed for HRI inmate. Saturday, January 18th at 12:27, he showered. Monday, January 20th at 10:05, reassessment complete, remain housed in max. January 20th at 16:38, inmate refused breakfast tray but did eat his lunch tray. Wednesday, January 22nd at 12:59, per confinement review meeting, he will remain housed alone. Thursday, January 23rd at 18:52, he refused his dinner tray. Saturday, January 25th at 15:07, he received a haircut. Monday, January 27th at 10 o'clock, he was medically cleared to work. Monday, January 27th at 11:09, medically cleared for inmate worker inside outside kitchen, not eligible due to charges. Wednesday, January 29th at 2:53, per confinement review meeting, he will remain housed alone. Sunday, February 2nd at 7:35, he refused shower on Charlie's shift. Sunday, February 2nd at 17:36, he used the kiosk. Wednesday, February 5th at 10:32, housed alone, protective custody, temporarily relocated to MSEG 1. He's isolated. 1 was needed for HRI inmate. Stearns will return to isolation cell when available. Okay. Wednesday, February 5th, per confinement review meeting, inmate. Sorry, I thought okay. Inmate will remain housed alone and PC for safety reasons. Inmate has recreation. Sunday, February 9th at 12:19, he refused his lunch tray. Wednesday, February 12th, he remains confined. Wednesday, February 12th at 23:30, Zone 1 supervisor advised the sink and toilet in inmate cell is not working. Thursday, February 13th at 5:31, inmate was offered water every hour from the time inmate advised officers his water was not working. Toilet was flushed manually. Thursday, February 13th at 9:23, he was rehoused temporarily until toilet was repaired in his cell. Saturday, February 15th, he was offered a shower and he declined. Sunday, February 16th, he was escorted to Maine Medical for a shower. Wednesday, February 19th, he's going to remain housed alone. Thursday, February 20th at 13:32, he refused to shower. 5 damn days later, he still refused to take a shower. Another day later at 10:31, he refused to take a shower. Wednesday, February 26th, per confinement review meeting, inmate will remain housed alone. Dang, from Friday, February 28th at 16:21 until, what is that? Wednesday, March 5th, he's still refusing a shower. What is that, almost a damn week? He refused February 28th. Saturday, March 1st, he refused a shower. Sunday, March 2nd, he refused a shower. Wednesday, March 5th, he refused a shower. Wednesday, March 5th, he's going to remain housed alone. Thursday, March 6th, he refused a shower. Friday, March 7th, he was housed in medical due to light in his cell going out. Saturday, March 8th, he refused breakfast. Wellness check conducted. He appeared to be okay. Oh, thank God. Saturday, March 8th, he showered. Let us all thank God for that. That was like over a week without no damn shower. Stearns, come on now. Good Lord. Monday, March 10th, he refused uniform exchange and shower on Charlie's shift. Tuesday, March 11th, he refused breakfast tray. Inmate advised that he was okay. Wednesday, March 12th at 11:20, per confinement review meeting, inmate remains housed alone. And that's all I've got for this request. Like, I'll request it and I won't get it. I got it back literally this morning. And I requested it on March 14th. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. All right. Let's look at the commissary, and then that's all I have on that. Hold on. So I was noticing, I know how you guys said that you had heard his parents were not sending him money and stuff anymore. And it does look like the last time that Chris sent him any money was February 11th. He sent him $20. And he had a balance of $36. He did a commissary punch and for $25 and had $8.92 left. So then the daily subsistence fee where he has to pay for his meals took the rest of the money in his account. He had 92 cents left. $2 was taken. Oh, he had 92 cents. He owed $2. After that, he owed $1.08. And as of today, he owes as of March 14th, 2025, he owed $51.08. So when his parents send him money, all that money's going to be taken to cover the daily subsistence fee unless they send him over $50. I wonder why, like, his parents aren't putting money on his account anymore. That's interesting to me. Let me see if y'all can see it better this way. No, it just moves it over. I wonder why his parents aren't putting money, and it was February 11th was the last time, and that day he only put $20 on, like, before that, like, he put $30 on the 9th, 35 on the 2nd, 35 on the 26th, on the 19th, he put 30. Like, almost a year they supported him. $50 on January 15th, $35 on January 11th, $35 on January 5th. Like, the last one, see right here, 35, it's always 30, 35, 50, right? And then 35 on February 2nd, 30 on February 9th, and then the last one is February 11th, which was $20. And that's it. Till March 14th. Now, I don't know if something happened after March 14th, but hey, Bonjurin. Bonjurin said, I certainly hate stepping stones, but charging inmates for the shit food they give them is pretty effed up. It is. I agree with that. I do. I've heard of some places doing it. I've never been charged for the shitty ass food that they give people, but yeah. So right now, or as of, like I said, I'll submit these requests, and it takes them. I literally got this in my email today. This morning, it was there, and it goes through the 14th. That's the date I requested it, through March 14th. So since the request was submitted on March 14th, I could say up to present, but it'll only go to March 14th. And what's today? April, what, 9th? Something like that. So as of March 14th, he had $51. So like I said, if his parents send him $30, they're going to take that, and he's still going to owe $20. And it's going to keep going unless they send him like $100. Then he'll have $50 to do his commissary, and 51 would pay off his food. Inflation and tariffs will be hitting everybody, said Only Onions. No doubt. Maybe they're broke. I don't know. They kept telling him they didn't have money. Maybe they really ran out. Maybe. If he is working, doesn't that pay for his food? Yeah, but I think that they're not letting him work because of the status of his charges. So yeah, that was all I got for the jail files as of right now. What time is it? It's 2:53. We got like 10 minutes. Let's find something on the tubes to watch. Let me put background up. Or do the purple. All right. Let's see what we can find on YouTube to watch for a little bit until they come back to court. That made me mad. I would have just started at damn 3 o'clock if I'd have known they was going to go and do that. Let's see. What can we watch? Hey, I got something in playlist, I'm sure. Oh, let's see what's going on with Kohberger's hearing. I don't know how to spell it. Kohbuerger. Maybe. Let's see. Let's see what's going on. Oh, of course, the court's on break. Let's back it up. Y'all remember that song? Back it up. Norma, good to see you, love. Is he ordering root beer barrels and Jolly Ranchers? It don't tell me what he orders. I would love to know. They won't tell me that. All right. How long have they been on break? I'll just go to right here. Should be something there.
Data result. And the analyst testified as to 13.1, the fingernail swabs, that their data was inconclusive. And to the defense, and that means that you cannot draw any conclusions. So the defense retained cybergenetics, which uses a different statistical tool than the lab here, and generated a statistic which is strongly exclusionary of Mr. Koberger from that particular sample. And while that doesn't preclude the evidence from the state lab, it adds additional information to the picture, the overall picture. And
It's just a question for the experts to testify about and the jury to make its conclusion.
well, I think that allowing the type of questions and apparently now the new conclusion that was in the state's response to our motion would be inappropriate and prejudicial and should be excluded under and you have
Do
to.
you want me to believe your expert and not their expert?
No, I'm not asking you to believe any one in particular. However, what I am saying is that the amount of time and energy it will take to explain what inconclusive means is essentially far greater than should be the job of the defense to do. Inconclusive means inconclusive. No, I'm not saying that. I think it can be presented and it can be presented in a fair manner that is consistent with due process and the right of Mr. Kober to confront it. The new disclosure from the state is an expert who went through in great detail. We have a 27-page report from him where he not only reanalyzed the data visually, but he also used another statistical tool. And he stated in his conclusionary paragraphs, and it's a very long report, that first he looked at the data using the lab's protocols and doing some validation himself, essentially
don't
looking at
appear
their
to be back.
validation studies. And he found that just visual examination of the
No, they're not
data
back yet.
excluded Mr. Koberger. He went a
Unless it's
step
Koberger.
further and he said, I'm going to use this new third tool called LR Mix Studio to generate the same statistic or similar statistic that the lab did, the state lab did, as well as True Allele Cybergenetics did in their analysis. And he came up with a strongly exclusionary statistic. So we have now before the court, as he describes it in his disclosure, a statistic from the state lab, which means that it's 25 times less likely if the DNA originated. I always have a hard time with these numbers because you have to be extremely careful how you say this because it can flip the meaning. So let me just double check. His statistic, I'm sorry, I'll start with his. It's 5,000 to 100,000 times less probable that a coincidental match would be made to an unrelated person. In other words, what he's saying is that it's Mr. Koberger is not included, and that's a strongly exclusionary statistic. And I'm not saying this very well, Your Honor, because it's a tough, these likelihood ratios are hard to explain. So that's a 5,000 to 100,000 times less probable that Mr. Koberger is present. In other words, it's much more likely someone else is there if there's someone else there. Then the cybergenetics came up with a number that is in the range of 2.8 billion times less probable that he is there than some other unrelated individual. And this expert then relates that even the state labs number is 25 times less likely that Mr. Koberger is there than some other unrelated person. So all of the numbers point to exclusion. The numbers, the question is really the weight of it. And the way that the state intends to present it, and they presented it in their reply to our motion, was they should be allowed to say that this means that Mr. Koberger cannot be excluded. And that is
Yeah, evidently she's still on the damn toilet because they're not back yet. I've got it. I'm watching it on my phone to see when they come back. Oh, 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 oh. Hold on. We got movement. We got movement, people. We got movement. All right, so we got to watch a little bit of Koberger from earlier. What do we need now? We need law and crime. Probably still waiting on her, but they started movement in the courtroom, so I figured we get back to it. Goodness. I heard about that. D. Manos. I think I got some right before I started using the goldenrod. I did. I ordered a bottle of it. And then I started using goldenrod when it grows. You think they're trying for mistrial again? You're going to email the judge and tell her that she needs to get some deep manus. She does. Oh, let me say that. Well, I'll wait till the damn judge enters the chambers before I write back to court on my list here. Like, really? Like, can we just not hold trial in the bathroom? I mean, just shut the door stall. Shit. At this point. Okay, indie girl. Have a good day, love. He's rubbing his beard and rubbing his face. I don't think it was a good idea for him to come to trial at all, especially taking a risk with these jurors seeing the graphic photographs and the graphic nature of this horrendous crime. Yeah, she's not back. God almighty. This woman right here. I swear. But yeah, I think he should have taken a plea deal because of the graphic nature of the crime and like the jury having to see all of those photographs and hear all of the evidence and calling all the experts in and all the people that have to relive this shit. I mean, you took her fucking brain out, dude. Like, you legit took her brain from her skull. I don't think the jury's going to have an issue convicting you of your crimes. I mean, at this point, though, just exchange her chair with a toilet. Like, put some mufflers on that thing so they can't hear her peeing or doing number two and allow her to smoke in court. Goodness. Remove the chair, the judge's chair, and put a toilet there and allow smoking in court. I think we would all be all right. Yeah, like, what the Sam hell? They legit were at court. I have 37 minutes and 57 seconds left, and they went to break. After a long freaking lunch. Like, they went to lunch early. And Came back for 30 fucking minutes and then was like, okay, afternoon break. Before even, I was like, okay, well, at least we'll have until 3 o'clock or hopefully around 3:30. Hell no. And there will be another break, or they'll stop at 4 or something. She'll be like, yeah, we're going to stop at 4 for the day. She does. I'm going to take a nap before I have to cook dinner at 5. Is Jose a very short guy, or is everyone there tall? I think he's short. I think he's just a short guy. I legit am worried about him. Like, there's something wrong in that noggin of his for him to be able to take her fucking brain out of her skull. Like, that's some Jeffrey Dahmer shit. They did used to smoke in the courtroom. Boy, if you lit up a cigarette in that courtroom now, they'd have a meltdown. You'd probably be under the jail. Oh, thank you for gracing us with the... Oh, no, it's not her. Damn. Good God. Is that the lady that checks and makes sure all is clear for the judge to come in? Is it her? Nope. Why are you messing? You're playing with my damn emotions, court reporter. For the love of all things holy, Hannah UK. Like, even the people in the actual law and crime stream are like, God, this is ridiculous. Can we skip past the breaks? Like, what's going on? Good Lord. She's a judge. Like, can we not get a doctor in the courtroom for her to give her some medicine stat? Like, call the doctor while she's having court. Tell the doctor, look, you need to prescribe this woman some AZO. Some damn, what is that stuff called? Imodium AD, something. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. Like, I want to throw some AZO and Imodium AD through the screen. Oh, God almighty Jesus. Now we got to go have an argument in chambers about what he said, and then that she said, and the defense said, and the prosecution said murder, and the defense said homicide, and I'm going to cry about it. I want to throw daggers. Brian Koberger's back. Well, if I go over there, they'll come back in here. They should be back any minute now. Y'all got a deck of cards? Y'all want to play spades while we wait? Oh, Lordy. Oh, goodness. Yep, we gotta have an argument. Like, I mean, the defense is putting up a good defense, but having to defend that is a whole nother level of depravity. Even Basil's over there laying on the bed like, oh my God, what on earth? My kids are like, they want their phone because they can't have their phones on while I'm streaming because it'll mess up the internet. Like, everybody in my house, everybody at y'all's house, everybody in the courtroom is just like, can we get on with it? Goodness. See, Samantha Shock from Law and Crime said judge may be a smoker. Michelle responded, judge is definitely a smoker. She from Timu after all. Oh, they said it's a Timu judge. You have three. This one, Lori Daybell and Koberger. Interesting, Hannah. She did fall in. She fell in, and it's like that cave in the Goonies. There's like a big old creepy, scary man at the end. That's talking to her right now. His name is the defense and the prosecution. That's what's going on. It could be worse, like Young Thug's trial or whatever moniker was. Oh, Benihana's, not a Chinese food restaurant change. No, oh no, Allie, sometimes it'll block out certain things. I didn't see your message, but you're not blocked. I wouldn't block you, love. Sometimes it will like dispose of your message. I don't know why it does that, but YouTube is weird sometimes. Oh my. I don't know what, I haven't even looked at the like breakdown, like the important things from court, you know, that they will usually share with you for the trial. I haven't even looked at that for Lori Daybell's. It's you know, she's already got several life sentences, and it's for the homicide of that husband of hers, which her brother did, from what I understand. So that's why I was like, not real interested. Plus, it would go real late into the night for me, and I can't be streaming that late and stuff. It's a shit show, Hannah. I bet. It's always fun when they go to representing themselves. I figured she was like, well, I ain't got nothing to lose, I suppose, since I'm already serving several life sentences. So why not? Why not have some fun with it, I guess. I heard the judge got on to her about talking to the witnesses. I haven't looked. It was like a thumbnail of something I saw on YouTube last night. End of day yesterday, she got a warning. Yep. Averaging one witness a day. She's been worse today. Oh, wow. Yep. Jen is enjoying her freedom. Remember, he said that she knew that Madeline had certain feelings towards him. But he didn't leave. Yeah, I guess it's a 3-ring poop show for all of it. Boy, April is not the month to be streaming trials or having trials, evidently. I know, I'm willing to bet Lori and Koberger's judges aren't Timu judges. She's going to come back and be like, oh, we're done for the day. We're going to go home. We can't figure this thing out. So we're just done for the day. Reminds me of that Cypress Hill song, Insane in the Membrane. I probably shouldn't be saying membrane, considering the graphic nature of this trial. Y'all don't cancel me. Counsel or cancel. I hope the judge called them into her chambers and was like, look, I'm not in the mood for y'all's bullshit today. It's Steppenstein's trial for the CSAM is May 5th through the 15th, and then the trial for the homicide is in September. Yep. Mercury did get stuck trying to go out of retrograde. That's the only explanation we have for this, Indy. Mercury got stuck trying to go out of retrograde. That's exactly what happened. And I'm glad that you figured that out. Like, Judge, I need to go milk a goat. I need to go check my garden. I need to go pull weeds. I need to do some schoolwork. I got some more cross stitch to do. Like, any number of things other than wait on your UTI having ass. Oh, we got media assets. Thank you for reminding me, Rose. I want to tell the judge to get back in here. So bad. I don't show this one very much. Y'all probably haven't seen it. I have this one for trolls.
I can talk proper and I can talk ghetto. Both times you heard what the fuck I said. Okay?
It only played a section of it, but I'm assuming y'all heard it. This is what I'm saying right now with the judge.
What the hell? Oh my God, no way, yeah.
This is what the judge is doing in the computer chambers right now.
You need to leave. Oh, hell no. Boy, what the hell, boy? Bruh. Oh, my God. Oh my God. Bunk.
And the prosecution is telling the defense that they're full of bullshit.
A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit. A bullshit.
While the defense is telling Jose Morales,
Ugh. Brother, ugh. What's that? What's that, brother?
that's what they say to Jose Morales. And then in the back, they got this one guy waiting for court that's trying to come into the courtroom, and he's just back in the back like this.
All right, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can't be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have them present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any questionings if you wish. All right. You good, dude?
That guy's waiting to come to court. This judge is just messing up so many damn things at once. It's ridiculous. All these people waiting to get in the courtroom. So much bullshit. Computer seizures. Goodness. Did I crack y'all up? Oh, Lord. Oh, goodness. I think that's about all I got. I got a few more. I got the Good Morning Vietnam for in the mornings. When the judge comes back, this is what Basil's going to do.
Amazing.
That's what we're going to play when the judge comes back. All of us are over here on the crazy train all the way to Speculation Station. All right, that's all of us on the way to Speculation Station. We got to stay here until this judge comes back. I'm about to flip to Brian Koberger. I ran out. I don't got no more clips. He is so adorable, isn't he? Yeah, dude's in the back waiting to come in, losing his ever-loving mind. Like, everybody's just talking. Get your little Debbie's out and your coffee. Anybody need a coffee refill? Court's got little Debbie's out. What did he decide to take a plea deal? Now that everybody's had to see what he did to that woman? Only Onions says the poor judge has irritable bowel syndrome, and we're over here cracking jokes. At this point, slide her some Imodium AD under the door and tell her to get off the pot and let's go. The cats. Oh, I don't have my landlord has cats, but no, they would probably try to hurt him if they got in here. I don't let them come in. I don't do cats really. I don't know. I'm not a big cat person. I do goats, chickens, things like that. I'm down for all that. There's goats here. Lord have mercy. It's like a farm here. What? Even Mac Daddy's telling him to get back in court. She's like, ma'am, he said, ma'am, wake up. It's time to go. Me and Veronica are sucking on rusty nails. I don't know what the fuck y'all are doing with your lives. That is gross. Okay, now she left. Just found your relieve. Statuing spinach switch to ID4 sounds interesting. Okay, what we doing? Look, she's about to have a damn heart attack over here wiping her forehead. Oh my god. All right, let's go back to Coburger. If they come back, I'll bring us back. Oh my god. Okay. Let's see. All right, I got it on my phone. If she comes back, we'll flip back to it.
The defendant has proposed that their version of the 911 transcript be used, and the state has no objection to that. And I do have a copy of that transcript and the defendant's transcript, if the court would like it. Thank you.
Well, I may ask you some more questions because it seemed to me from the briefs that the defense focused in on three particular parts of the 911 call as not falling within the exceptions. So you didn't address those specifically, but let me see where the defense is at.
Your Honor, the best place for me to start is to probably provide you with some copies of the exhibits that we're going to want to talk about. The first set I'm going to hand you was actually filed with the text messages. It's an affidavit of Josiah Roloff, and also, let me give you the extra copy. It has DM's messages broken out in bubble form. That's not all. I gave a whole separate copy for Giovanna. I think that's what I'm supposed to do.
This, to be clear, when we're talking about 911, but you're giving me text stuff.
We are, in our response to the state's motion about the 911 call, we referenced the whole copy of text messages. We just filed them with text messages, but they're appropriate here too for the court to consider. I have the additional exhibits that were attached to our response, and they are 1 and 1A. 2 copies. With those in possession of the court, I'll talk about the state's request. The 911 call is made 8 hours after whatever happened in that house happened, after the killings happened, according to the state's theory of the case anyway. The state wants to play for the jury the 911 call and give them a transcript of the 911 call as an excited utterance or a present sense impression. The context of all of what happened that night is captured in DM's text messaging. There's a separate text messaging exhibit for BF. But it's not that all of a sudden at 4 a.m. something starts to happen and then the 8 hours pass and they call their friends and are startled by finding out that their roommates have been killed overnight. There's a lot more that happens during that time, and to analyze whether they're under the influence of a new and startling event, the court should take a look at all of the text messaging, all of the use of Snapchat, all of the use of Instagram that happened. It doesn't start in the middle of the night and then just stop until noon. There is a whole lot more that's going on in that house. When you hear the
There is a
911,
lot more that was going on. Yeah, this is Brian Koberger because we're waiting on the other ones to get back. But yeah, when you hear that 911 call, like I had questions too because it doesn't make very much sense.
call and you analyze each of those statements, the only statement that could possibly be a present sense impression is that from HJ. And he really doesn't say a whole lot. The other statements that the state wants to capture in, one is attributed to a person with the initials EA, and that person is repeating what she's been told. She says one of the roommates is passed out. And then a bit later, under prompt from either DM or BF, she says, oh yeah, and they saw a man in their house last night. Those are not things that relate to an exciting event. She's reporting things that other people are telling. She's not somebody who observed any event in the house. If the court takes a look at Exhibit 1 that came with the 911 calls, it's a smaller transcript and it comes from the grand jury transcript. If the court will look at page 277, that's numbered in the top right corner, lines 16 through 24, EA did not see anybody in that house. She went in, went to the top of the stairs and went back out and she saw nothing. She never went back inside that house. Any statement attributed to her cannot be an excited utterance. She's repeating what other people have told her. Similarly, if you look at the grand jury transcript, this is 1A, this relates to DM, and I'm at page 187, lines 12 through 16. DM is not responding to any of the statements she makes on the 911 call to a startling event. She says that for a brief second, she saw XK, but thought she was passed out from the night before. She also wants to talk about what she saw at 4 in the morning, and the dispatcher stops her. Looking at page 190 of that same 1A transcript, DM talks a little bit about that morning when she woke up after whatever happened in the middle of the night happened inside that house, that she reviewed the text messages between her and BF from the night before. She was busy from about 9 o'clock in the morning on her phone. She was on Instagram, she was on Snapchat, she was on Indeed, she was editing pictures sometime in the night as well. This is not somebody who was asleep and then woke up and was startled. She is actively reviewing things that happened on her phone and communicating with other people. Any statements she made on the 911 call is not the result of a present sense impression. It's not the result of an excited utterance. It is somebody who's been awake and thinking about whatever she and BF talked about the night before and communicating with a lot of other people before that 911 call is made.
Wow, that's interesting. I'm really interested I'm really interested in hearing more about that as well. We're back at court finally. So let's see what is going on since this is the case on the thumbnail. I'm going to look into that Brian Koberger one later though for sure.
Guidance instructions, and we will see you back here tomorrow morning at 9:30
Oh, of
a.m.
fucking course. Hold on a minute. Let's see what they fucking said. What did I tell y'all they were going to go for the day? Hold on. Let's see what she said. I might as well just delete this whole stream. So we're going to go for the day. I guess we can, y'all can finish watching Brian Koberger. I'm going to go do some things I need to get done. I was like, can we, okay. Let's see what they said. Oh, really? Oh, y'all are sweet.
All right, council, please stipulate to the return of our
Stipulate
jurors.
this
Thank
presence
you.
of the jury, Your Honor. Thank you.
14, Your Honor, thank you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. We are going to be adjourning early today. So before I adjourn for the day, I am going to remind you of your rules of juror conduct that I described to you at the beginning of the trial and the instruction that I continue to give you. So please continue to abide by those
Oh, I love you
instructions,
too.
and we will see you back here tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. Thank you so much. Court stands adjourned.
All rise, court adjourned.
So for whatever reason they adjourned for today, tomorrow should be interesting to find out what the hell the reason was that they adjourned early. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I'm interested to find out though. So I'm going to go for the day. Yeah. I saw that they came back and then everyone was leaving. I have no idea what happened, what's going on, what the F. So I don't know, y'all. I know that she said they'll be back in court in the morning, so I'll see y'all in the morning, I suppose. Definitely check out Brian Koberger. I think I'm probably going to be listening to it to see what they say. Maybe we can go through and do a stream on the highlights from that because that sounds interesting. Yeah, everyone get some rest. I don't know if she has a supervisor, but we need to be calling somebody. Like, ma'am, I'm going to need you to freaking stop it. This is ridiculous. And they say we'll see you back at 9:30, but like they don't even start the stream till 10 o'clock because they already know that they're not even going to be in there till 10 o'clock. Like, what the Sam hell is going on? Anyways, I'll play the outro. I love you all. If nobody's told you, you are important, you are special, and you are loved. Thank you so much for spending your day with me for the most part, and I'll see y'all in the morning at 10. Get some rest. Love you. Bye.